What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy JKG. We're going to be doing a little bit of a twofer for you this week. We got last week's leak. It wasn't really a leak. It was more of a content creator challenge. You can read it right here, where Susie and the team over there at Fateless kind of challenged us content creators to, go through and see which Egyptian deities have not been announced, have not been included so far that we feel is a must for Godforge in the Aaru faction. Which one's going to be the most powerful, interesting, underrated, whatever our creative juices, go for. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up a resource that if you don't have bookmarked and ready to go, you're going to want to do here for you. I'm going to have that link in the description, as well as I'm going to, just show you what it looks like and everything like that. We're going to go through the Wikipedia. We're going to pull up Wikipedia and stuff as well, just to do a little research on this. We're going to do it live. This is as if I was streaming. We're going to try to take a little bit on that. And then we do have a leak for you for this week. We are a little bit late to the party on the leak. Apologize for that. We got a mess behind me. If this green screen wasn't here, guys, you would be like losing your mind. Trying to get the room ready so we can paint this winter and stuff like that. We're going to be painting. I'm going to be doing a whole big rig for my lights and whole mess of stuff. But that doesn't, concern you guys, unless you guys want to see a build vlog. If you guys want to see a build vlog of it, see me moving everything out, buying the paint, all that kind of stuff, let me know in the comments below, because I'm more than happy to, mount a camera and try to film that if I can. So, but let's go ahead and get this off the screen here. So first and foremost, we are going to come over here to scrollsofanubis.com. Shout out to Scrolls of Anubis, fellow content creator for Godforge, putting together this website, listing the heroes, listing the factions as they are leaked and as they are released. Super good, resource that's going to be massively available. If you're familiar with, Raid Shadow Legends, think, Scrolls of Anubis is going to be similar to like that, a Yumi Love, hellhades.com type of a situation here, where you can have the list, the wiki, if you will, for Godforge, as well as, a repository for videos and build guides and stuff like that. So definitely going to be one of the ones you want to have bookmarked. I'll have it in the link in the description down below for you, but we're going to come over here to heroes. We're going to go to the Aaru faction. So you can kind of come right up in there. So as of today on the website, we have Anubis has been released. We have Basset, Horus, Imhotep, Isis, Jackal, King Tut, Mummy, Nefertiti, Anubian, Osiris, Ra or Ray, depending on pronunciation, and Ramses. So we have a good, what is that? 3, 6, 9, damn she fine. 12. We have 13 heroes here in the Aaru faction as of today. So if we're going to fill this out, let's just say we have 13. How many do we want to get to? Do we want to get to, just plug in another 2 and call it 15? Do we want to, put in another 3 and have, 18? So that's going to be a really big question. How big are these factions going to be? On launch, they're going to be small. That is how it should be. And then you can trickle drop, new champions, new heroes as you go in each faction and stuff like that. So definitely something to kind of, think about. So let's go ahead and, how do we want to word this? Let's go ancient Egyptian gods. Let's just do that, right? So, and then we'll go to, where is the wiki list of Egyptian deities? So we have Aker, the god of the earth and horizon; Amun, creator god, patron deity of the city of Thebes, and preeminent deity in ancient Egypt during the New Kingdom. We have Anhur, or Honor, God of War and hunting. That would be a really good one for Godforge. Honor just the god of, as a god of war, god of fighting, hunting. It really fits the battle thematic of a game like this. So that could be a really good one. Let's see. Aten definitely is one that we could, have in there. The sun disk deity who became the focus of mono, wow. Mon, monolatris or monotheistic Atenist belief system. If you don't know that one, the Atenist, there was, I forget which pharaoh, in the reign of Akhenaten. So Akhenaten took power and tried to make Aten the one god, to take place of all of these gods. And, uh, didn't go over well. Made a lot of enemies, and Akhenaten was swiftly dealt with, and all of the the houses of worship to Aten and everything were promptly destroyed after after his reign ended. That's one fact that I just know from watching Peter Weller, aka RoboCop. If you don't know, History Channel, during the day when I was sick in high school, after Price is Right and everything, I would flip on the History Channel and I would see Peter Weller, aka the actor who played RoboCop of my childhood, going through ancient Egypt. And that's one of the stories that just stuck in my brain. So yeah, there's that. Let's see. We have Autumn, creator god, solar deity, first god of the Aeneid. Bennu, solar creator deity. There's a lot of sun gods and solar creators and stuff here. So definitely you can see where ancient cultures really revered, the sun and the cycle of the sun and the moon and the stars and everything. We have Geb, an earth god, member of the Aeneid. Hapi, personification of the Nile flood. Hapi, personification of the Nile flood. The Nile flood is massive in ancient Egypt, still massive today. However, with all, with dams and stuff like that, they've really been able to kind of hone it down. But, back in the day, that Nile flood would be they would hope for it to flood. That way they could come in after the flood and plant crops. So, really symbolic with life. So that would be a really good one to have. Horus is already in the game. Khepri, solar creator god, often treated as the morning aspect of Ra, represented by the scarab beetle. Khnum, the ram god, patron deity of Elephantine, who was said to control the Nile flood and give life to the gods and humans. That would really kind of go in with Happy. Khonsu, the moon god, son of Amun and Mut, or Mut, I think it's Mut. Khonshu, believe, is Moon Knight. The from Marvel's Moon Knight. I believe the main character is the I forget the term that they use, but he's, the personification of Khonshu. I believe it's been a while since I've watched Moon Knight. I definitely need to watch that again because it scratches that itch back here in the back of the brain. Definitely want to do that one. So if that is Khonshu, definitely one that we want to have in the game as far as I'm concerned, because Moon Knight is one of the coolest characters in all of the Marvel Universe, in my opinion. Sound off in the comments below if you hate Moon Knight or if you love Moon Knight. Let me know. I don't really care which side you fall on, but I definitely want to to have you let it. Yep. Moon Knight, Boy Spy, Khonshu. There we go. During Volume 2, Moon Knight is given special legends by... Yes, there we go. Mark Spector. Protagonist. Evil in his name, enhancing his strength. Yes, Mark Spector is the personification of Moon Knight. Yes, this is what I was talking about. ADHD brain. Let's go. So yeah, definitely, we definitely want to have Khonshu in the game. That's on my short list. So if we're gonna narrow it, let's say we're gonna narrow it down to two out of these. So far, Khonshu is definitely one of them that I want to see in the game. We have, let's see, we have Maz, Lion, son of Bastet, Montu, God of War in the sun, worshipped at Thebes. God of War, any God of War is really going to be a good one to have. Nefertum, the god of the lotus blossom, from which the sun god rose, the beginning of time, son of Ta and Sekhmet. Nemti, falcon god, worshipped by Middle Egypt, who appears as a myth as a ferryman for the creator gods. God of grain, Neper. Osiris in the game, Ta, a creator deity, god of craftsmen, the patron god of Memphis. So Ta would be on my short list as well. As a former craftsman, if you don't know, I spent 10 years painting cars as an automotive repair technician. So I was a craftsman, did stuff with my hands, have the calluses to prove it to this day. And, so that one would sit nice with me. Set, I didn't see Set in the list of the heroes that we have, right? We have Anubis, Bastet, Horus, Imhotep, Isis, Jackal, King Tut, Mummy, Nefertiti, Nubian, Osiris, Ra, and Ramses. Yeah, Set is a big one. Ambivalent god characterized by violence, chaos, strength, connected with the desert, mythological murderer of Osiris, and enemy of Horus, but also a supporter of the pharaoh. Yeah, dude, Set has to be in the game, right? Set is, so if we're going two, we need Khonshu and we need Set. Let's see if there's anybody else that would need to, that would be able to kind of push us out, right? So we have Shu, embodiment of winter air, member of the Ennead, Sobek, crocodile god. That crocodile god would be pretty cool in the game. Just visually, a crocodile god would be pretty dang cool in the game. We have Sopdu, god of the sky, Egypt's eastern border regions, Thoth, moon god, god of writing and scribes, patron deity of Hermopolis. Wajwer, personification of the Mediterranean Sea or lakes of the Nile Delta. Okay, and then here we are getting into the goddesses. We have Amenet, a female counterpart of Amun. Anput, the goddess of funerals, embalming and protector of the dead. Anput could be a cool one, just kind of thinking like that. Goddess of funerals and protector of the dead could be a revive champion in a game like this. So Anput could be on the short list as well. Aniket, feathered headdress, wearing goddess of Egypt's southern frontier regions. Bastet, goddess represented cat lioness, patroness of Bubastis, linked with protection from evil. Bat, cow goddess from early Egyptian history, eventually absorbed by Hathor. So bot or bat. We could have a cow level, guys. We could have a cow level. Shout out to Diablo. Blizzard, don't come after this. This is not, copyright infringement. Hathor, one of the most important goddesses, linked with the sky, sun, sexuality, motherhood, music, dance, foreign lands, and goods, and afterlife. That's a lot of jobs for Hathor. One of the many forms of the Eye of Ra, she's often depicted as a cow. Cow level, Hathor, short list, my opinion. We have Hecate, frog goddess, frog, Godfrog, hashtag Godfrog in the comments, guys. Let's go. I'm trying to make that. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna try to get hashtag Godfrog in there. So yeah, Hecate, short list. Let's go. Hesed, maternal cow goddess. There's a lot of cow goddesses. I'm just gonna say. Imentet, afterlife goddess, closely linked with Isis and Hathor. That could be really cool as like a reviver. Isis in the game. Mats, goddess who personified truth, justice, and order. Menet, lioness goddess. Mut, consort of Amun, worshipped at Thebes. Neith, creator, hunter goddess, patron of the city of Sais in Lower Egypt. Nekbit, vulture goddess, the tutelary deity of Upper Egypt, a vulture goddess. I'm thinking just in imagery, like a vulture head with woman's body, insanely dark black raven colored wings and feathers everywhere. That could be really cool. That could be a vibe. Not even thinking about like what the god is, or the god or the goddess is, but like just how would you represent that in game? That could be a vibe. So definitely one to keep your eye out on. Nephthys, member of the Enneads, consort of Set, who mourned Osiris alongside Isis. Nebit, a goddess of grain, female counterpart of Neper. Newt, sky goddess, member of the Ennead. Pockets, lioness, goddess mainly worshipped in the area around Beni Hassan. Renenatet, agricultural goddess. Satet, goddess of Egypt's southern frontier regions. Sekhmet, lion. Didn't we already have Sekhmet? I think there was another one that was just related to Sekhmet, maybe. Sekhmet, lioness goddess, both destructive and violent, capable of warding off disease, protector of the pharaohs who led them into war, consort of Ta, and one of the many forms of the Eye of Ra. Sekhmet could be really cool. Just based on that little, one-line description, a lioness, human form, warding off disease, could be like a cleanse champion, protector, maybe like ally protection, of like a keep you alive. That could be pretty dope. Tefnut, lioness goddess, lioness goddess of moisture, moist, and a member of the Ennead. Wadjet, cobra goddess, tutelary of Lower Egypt, a cobra goddess. Okay, so like we could have like cobra head with the flared ears, and then just that could be a vibe too. And then last but not least, as far as the male or female, we have Wasret. Okay, so yeah, goddess of Thebes. So far my short list, we're gonna narrow it down to 5, right? So we got Wadjet, that could be really dope. Sekhmet, that could be really dope. Let's see here. Nekbet with the god, the vulture goddess. That's 3. And then Hecate, frog, hashtag God frog. That would be pretty dope. And then we had Ta as well as Khonshu. So yeah, for me, Khonshu and Ta are like 1 and 2, and then the other ones are after that. But yeah, those are my top 5, guys, as far as who I would like to see in there. If you have any differences in opinion, or anybody specific, or if I missed anybody, by all means, comment below. They read all our comments, guys, so any suggestion that you make in our comments is definitely going to be going to the Godforge team, so they can do that. And just to kind of show what it looks like here, let's come over here to the heroes. We have the faction landing page. Each faction, we have everybody here: Beowulf, Berserker. We kind of come through, and so we can actually bring everybody up. Be fucking productive. That's my background. On to the leaks, guys. On to this week's leaks. We're gonna workshop like maybe a little breaking news. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you even want to see that. We have Thor or Tor, depending on pronunciation. I know, like there's literally multiple pronunciations for those 4 letters put together in that language. But you have Thor as we know him in, comic books and everything like that. And then we also have Tor as in like the cyclist, Thor Hushovd. Great sprinter. Shout out to anybody who watches Tour de France like me. Let's go. But we have Thor in Godforge. Pretty much we knew he was going to be there. Loki's already there. Odin's already there. Freya's already there. Thor has to be in the game. So as far as like that goes, it's not a big surprise that Thor's in the game. However, we're going to leak his art and everything like that. So really, really cool. You can kind of see he's going to have a very cool, vibe to him. Nice red beard, for that Viking. He's got the wings on the helmet. Pretty traditional as far as, what we know and love about Thor and everything. So this picture right here is going to go with a lot with another slide. Let me go ahead and bring up the other slide that goes along with this one. It's right here. So this one, Friday leaks. So this is like the process for everybody that doesn't know. When they're going through these kind of revisions and everything like that, what they're doing is they are, they're getting an addition. They're getting the artwork. The team is getting these artworks and stuff. Let me zoom in a little bit so we can kind of see and kind of move some stuff around. But they get the artwork. They send it off. The artist sends it off to the team, and then the team, takes a look at it. Okay, what do we want to fix? What do we want to adjust? Not necessarily fix, but what do we want to adjust? Or do we want to fix something? Or, do we want to add a splash of color here, splash color there? Do we want to change something? Do we want to make it, more traditional, less traditional? What do we want to do? So that's what these are. So we have all these numbered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of these revisions right here are there. And basically what they are, number one, the wings, these wings seem too small. Let's move this over here. Let me move this. We'll make that a little bit bigger so we can kind of see. But so number one, the wings seem too tall if translated to a side view, but also think we can want to work in some horns there, which if we kind of come over here to this side, you can kind of see the wings and the horns as well right there for the revision and a line drawing. Number two, if I can grab the right picture so we can pull it over so we can actually read it. Super cool. I know I'm a little out of practice, but hey. Number two, I know he'd be posed, but the sort of triangle that goes from the tip of his helmet down to his shoulders doesn't seem to fit the character as opposed to some of the wizards and such. So that's what this is referring to, this here purple line right there. So the tip of the helmet, kind of a curved triangle down. Possibly we want to maybe bring his shoulders up to kind of, make him have a little bit more broader shoulders so it doesn't look like his shoulders are, sloping down. So maybe more like that, so make him a little bit more of a big back like yourself. Some of us brick shit houses, that's just kind of what we look like naturally. Number three, his torso is too wide and square. Since his belt is a trademark lore element, we want it to stand out and also enhance his masculine cut-ins and negative space, which let's hop back over here. So we have number three. Let me move out of the way. Number three right here. Boom. Coming in here, we want the belt to kind of stand out and pop a little bit more. That's what that one was saying. Let's bring that picture back up. Let's go over to number four. So number four, there's too much hair in his neck and beard area, which adds to his triangle top. Let's emphasize his jawline and show some neck so he feels less bundled up. So that is number four, which number four right here, but we can see the little boom, little guy right here. They just want to, emphasize his jawline a little bit more. I feel like there's a little bit too much hair. Maybe we're going to take out one of these braids so he just has one big braid in there, or maybe four smaller braids instead of having one long big bushy central. Have four fairly even length braids. Possibly there's a lot of ways you could do that, or we just take away the braids altogether and just give him a big old bushy beard like your boy. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Number five, we can see right here from the side, the wings can be very dramatic and can exist alongside some horns. So if we drag that down, number five, boom, we can see the wings and the horns can definitely coexist, especially if the horns are out in front. And looks like from this angle, they would kind of come up along the wing and then flare out right here. So like something along like that. Maybe not so from this picture right here, maybe not so far. So this was kind of coming up, starting about right here, coming out, up, and then just kind of inside the wing profile. But you know, hey, I like it with and without the wings personally. So I know, you know, horns on helmets is definitely a huge thing in the back olden days. Number 6, armor should reinforce the lines of the character. In this case, he's backward slanted, predator-like forehead, and his forward thrusting jaw. So that's number 6. So yeah, we can kind of see from the armor should reinforce the lines of the character. And so instead of having the profile, you know, of the helmet, you know, kind of leaning back, have it kind of coming out, protruding, and following the natural line of the head. Shout out to me, I got a haircut today. So yeah, we're gonna be, you know, rocking haircut soon. Maybe we'll dye the hair. Let me know in the comments below if you wanted me to dye the hair. Maybe we'll do red. Red might pop on camera. Just saying. Red might pop. So if you want to see that, let me know in the comments below. I know that's a lot of calls to action down in the comments below, but it is what it is. Number 7, clear out the space so his head and shoulders have some breathing room. I converted your design some to reveal more skin as per Simon's thirsty examples. Create a battle harness, differentiate the belt, space, and give him a slightly sleazy bodybuilder muscle tee. that is definitely, that sounds thirsty as hell. Get him some water. But we can see we have the little muscle builder tank right here, showing off his muscles. You know, I was, you know, just so you know, guys, full disclosure, I was called in. I flew out to the UK. They had me stand there with my shirt off so they could, you know, so they could draw me without my face and use my body for this, because, you know, we all know brick shit house right here. But yeah, you know, thirst traps are not just for the fellas. We got to have thirst traps for the ladies, because, you know, hey, let them have what they like. And if they want to see, you know, Thor's little underboobs and his rib cage and his lats, you know, hey, more power to you. Let's see, we only have a couple more of these. Number 8, change the shape of his helmet to open up his face. He felt too closed before. So number 8. So yeah, we can kind of see right here, it's a little bit more Magneto style, with a not quite as far down on the nose, for the nose guard. And then instead of coming in so far, you know, to border right about here on his cheek, it's a little bit further out on his jaw. If we compare this area and this area on this one. So yeah, definitely leave it a little bit more open, especially for a game like this. That way, you know, as we're playing and stuff, as we have them, you know, hanging out as we're putting gear on them and everything like that and spinning them around, you know, when we get our new champions and new heroes in the game, when we summon everybody, we want to see their face and stuff, you know. I mean, unless they're really ugly, you know. Sometimes, you know, ugly heroes need love too, right? You know, I mean, not everybody can be super cute like me. I get it, you know. It's tough being this beautiful, guys. I'm really saying it. It's so tough being this sexy. I'm just gonna say it, you know. And then last but not least, again, some skin and a clear cut in at the waist so he doesn't look so square. So that's number 9. That's behind the arm, little arrow right here. So yeah, kind of, instead of bringing them, you can kind of see right here. It could just be the armor and everything like that as well. But you can kind of see on this side, if we kind of come onto the left side right here, it's pretty square. So kind of cut them in, bring him into a nice tighter waist, make it look like he's, you know, more of a thin fella instead of just a big old fat boy like myself. But yeah, So you can kind of see from one initial picture, you know, 9, 10 revisions. I'm sure they made more over the course of time, and by the time the game is fully released and everything, they're probably going to have 10 more revisions off of every champion in the game. So definitely something to think about. And so we have Thor, Legendary Exploration. I'm hiding that right here. It's right there. But yeah, you can kind of see we have him here. We have some horns coming out, you know, the wings, got a big old horn on his back, the horn where Thor drank the sea. And Jormungandr? Man, my verbiage is not great today with some of the harder words. Really cool though, really cool vibe. Thor is a really cool, very masculine, hyper masculine alpha for all the people that believe in all that kind of stuff. But you know, Thor is a man's man. Basically, that's what he is. You know, just one of the best of the best. You can see he's got the tats to prove it, right? So he's gonna be just, you know, sick dude. I like the scar across the face. I like that little scar across the face. Kind of see, you know, having, instead of having, you know, the big bushy beard with the braids, we have him, you know, trimmed it down, a little chiseled, more of them, showing a little bit more of the jaw and the neck, making him a little bit more personable. I get that. I dig it. And then here we have, you know, instead of big wings, small horns, we have big horns, small wings. I kind of like that helmet a little bit more personally. There's less facial protection, but I kind of like that a little bit more. I'm into horned helmets. That's a weird statement to make, but I really like that. I like the vibe of the glowing eyes too, because depending on, you know, what aggression and stuff like that he's got going on inside the game, you could have, you know, if he's under like a crit damage buff or an attack buff or something like that, his eyes could glow a different way, which would be pretty cool. Real small thing, but it could be like a really cool little subtle touch. I like the little skull on the chest tied into the armor. That is a really cool touch for me as well there. And then yeah, and then over on the left, big horn on the back, big wings, small horns, but a little bit more of an open. And then we have, you know, some more kind of white-ish details as far as the glowing eyes. We're getting rid of a little bit of the chest tank top area and just having him open bare chest with his little scruffies, you know, hanging out there. So shout out to everybody that's got scruffs. And then, you know, everybody that knows Thor, we all know good old Mjolnir. Look, I can pick it up. I'm worthy, y'all. I'm worthy. I'm worthy. But yeah, so really cool vibes. We can see, you know, a little less armor on this particular version. Really cool back shot. Really cool back view of the horn. With the little dragon head right there. Little shout out to the design work on the leather work on the tunic and everything. That is really dope. Little side profile of the helmet is pretty cool. You can kind of see how it's, you know, going along with the head on there. Really cool vibes. I like these kind of unfinished drawings personally. This is the kind of artwork, like if I was going to have like a custom made poster or something like that, that's kind of the vibe that I would want to have on there, on the wall. A lot of really cool, intricate line work and everything that is going in as far as the belts and, you know, all the armor and everything. I really did dig that. Yarn Raper plates on fingers and textures should look rough and somewhat ancient. Yeah, he's a warrior. You want him. He's very, I'm not gonna say immortal, but he's, you know, the Asgardians, they live for a long ass time by humans, according to like our standards, you know, right? If not immortal, but He's a warrior. He's a fighter. He's going to be all banged up. You don't want him to have super shiny armor, because if he's got super shiny armor, that means he's just, what is he? What is he? He's a trophy boy. If he's got the banged up armor, if he's got the scuffed up hands and everything, he is a worker. He is the dude that's out there. He's the guy leading your battles. That's what we want. That is what we want. Polygons of the taking the flat line drawings and turning them into 3D space with the polygon structures. Always a cool thing. I've never been able to figure out how to do this myself. Took some classes when I was in high school and stuff like that, and I could just never get it to work right. So shout out to my teacher, who did not teach me anything. Yeah, gotta love that. I'm not salty at all. This is really cool. I like how we have the 3D model over here, and then all of the different pieces and everything like that on this side. I really dig it. I really dig it. This is something I wish I learned how to do. And if I learned how to do it, hey, we might be doing some other stuff. But we take that. Take those polygon lines, take all that, and we come over here. You can kind of see, I do know a little bit of this. We're going to have our up, down, left, rights, and this is where you start adding in your light source. So you can kind of start seeing some shadows without any color, just all grayscale, but you can kind of see the light and dark shadows and stuff like that. So you can fix your perspective and stuff like that with your light, and then kind of move around and show where your shadows are going to hit, which is good for when you start making, your full color, renderings and stuff like that, because you're going to know what that color is how the light is going to affect that color a little bit when you choose your colors to go for. So very cool. Very cool. I really dig it. This would be a really cool statue. This would be a really cool statue figure, like to maybe like a 6-8 inch little action figure. If you don't want to call it a doll, it's an action figure, whatever. But yeah, really cool. I'm really digging this. I can't wait to see what he looks like with full animations and everything. We can see here, much more detailed rendering. We have all the intricate, textures on the horn, the dragon wrapping around. We can see the dragon scales playing off the light here, as well as, the fur coming down on the back and everything. We have the belt looking all sexy and textured up and everything. Yeah, this is something that is really cool, guys. I really am digging the art style, man. The artists have been nailing it here. Next on the list, nice 3D render. About as close to getting in game as we're gonna see, in something like this right now, until they have it fully rendered out for us and have animations done. But that is a really slick, T-pose. I really dig it. You can kind of see as the light's kind of shining around as he's spinning around, the light perspective dancing off of the scales and off the helmet and everything. Really cool. Last but not least, guys, that's not Thor. That's not Thor. So this is one that they haven't given us any information about. So we're going to play Who's That Pokemon, guys. Who do you think this is going to be? I don't have an idea, to be completely honest. I have zero clue who this is going to be. If you have an idea who this is going to be, leave it in the comments below. Pause this screen and comment below. Who do you think this is going to be? What details are you going to pick out? You can kind of pick out a little bit of details here on the back with the texture in the background. It's going to be somebody that's going to have horns in the head, where it looks like we're going to have horns in the helmet area. A little bit of some shoulder spikes, maybe some dragon claws or something like that. Looks like either some fur or possibly just ripped, tattered clothing. As far as the shoulder armors, looks like they're not going to be the biggest, beefiest person, male or female character. So we can definitely see some stuff there as far as that goes, but they're gonna be a little bit more slender, a little bit more slight on build. But yeah, this is somebody that we don't know. We don't know who we're getting, guys. Maybe this is next week's leak. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna reveal this one next week. But that's the last slide that I have for you guys this week. This one's a longer one. I apologize for that, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Again, if you have any ideas on who to add in the Aaru faction, any details that you think you would like as far as Thor goes, and then last but not least, who's this sexy little fella? Who's this gonna be? Who's that Pokemon? Stay tuned, because we're probably gonna find out this one pretty soon. I'm Jake A.G. Brennan. Love you guys. Peace.